Welcome, it's Denome, and in this market update we're obviously going to take a look at the fundamental analysis of Bitcoin and the technical analysis of Bitcoin, and we're going to take a look at altcoins that I have been talking about recently, basically to check up on them if I'm still bullish on them or not. So first off, let's actually take a look at the chart, and let's this time go and take a look at the longer term chart here. And for the long-term chart, the important thing, in my opinion, is this trend line here. So we're currently above it, but if we fall below this line, that's what I consider to be the bear zone. So this is when I will actually sell pretty much all of my crypto and wait for a new base, a new bullish scenario. Because once this breaks to the downside, we already have similar situations like here. This was the end of the bull market. This was the end of the bull market. This was the end of the bull market as well. So if we fall below this, it doesn't mean that it's a bear market necessarily, but it is a bear zone for me. So that's why I don't want to be in that ride, basically. Even if it consolidates, I can buy back. If it goes higher, I can buy back. If it goes lower, I can buy back as well. So in all scenarios, I basically win, but I just limit my risk if we fall below it. But because we are still inside it, I'm still bullish. And when we actually go to zoom in, we still have this runaway until basically the end of June. So basically within this month, we basically have to break the all-time high because we run out of this runaway. So for the next 20 days, we have to break the new all-time high. And as of now, this looks to be the bottom once again. And let me actually zoom in and explain why. First off, we break through this formation here to the upside, and we're currently touching the breakout trend line. So that, in my opinion, is just a bullish. It's just showing me that it might be the bottom. We're touching the bottom of that same line as well. We're at the bottom almost of the trend line here as well. And when we take a look at the RSI, we see a bullish divergence. So we see the RSI having a lower low while the price has a higher low. So in this scenario, this is called a bullish divergence, and it means that the momentum and the price actually disagree, which means that it's likely that the price will actually have a bounce from here. So in the short term, this looks quite nice in my opinion, and this would be the perfect time to buy Bitcoin. And when we go to the 4-hour view, you can basically it doesn't have the same let me see. Yeah, well, here we have a divergence as well. So here you can see this was the lower low or lower point on the chart, but here is a higher point on the chart, but the RSI is actually lower than the previous low here. So for that reason, again, we are seeing confirmation that this could be a bullish divergence as well. But we still have the day is not over. We have 17 hours left on the clock. So doesn't mean that there's divergence, and tomorrow the trend could continue to go down. So all in all, if price basically goes to about 65k, 66k, that's when I will be exiting the market. But as of now, I'm still quite bullish, and we break to the upside here. But fundamentally, things are not looking that great. So currently we're looking at the Santiment tool. You can create a free account here. You can create a paid account, and you can basically look under the hood of Bitcoin and altcoins with this tool here. And if you use the link below, that will help the channel. But here, some of the key things that we have been looking at is obviously the supply on exchanges. This is basically stagnated for the last week. And this is quite nice still, meaning that people are not sending their Bitcoin to exchanges. And when they do that, that's usually when they want to trade Bitcoin. And currently it is stagnating here, which is quite nice. But we have a lot of DeFi protocols already, so it's not exactly clear anymore. This indicator is not as, let's say, what's a beautiful word? I don't know. It's not as good as before, but anyway, it's going sideways. The funding rates are not really giving me any signal. The funding rates are almost neutral, so that's fine. Stable coins, same as before, 150 billion, not really growing. And even USDT has basically stagnated for the last week, which is not ideal. But this is the worrying thing to me. So when we take a look at the total amount of Bitcoin holders, this chart looks bullish because this is bullish. It means that we have more Bitcoin holders or more wallets that have some amounts of Bitcoin inside them. So when this is going up, it means there's adoption for Bitcoin, and it's very, very nice. But what is not nice is when we see all the other lines go down. So when we track the amount of wallets that have 10 to 100 coins, you can see this is going down. When we track wallets, or the amount of wallets that have 100 to 1000 coins, this is going down, just a slight uptick from the last week. 1000 to 10,000 coins, this going down or sideways for the last week as well. Even if we take a look at the wallets that have even higher number of Bitcoin inside them, even this has gone down or sideways. And when we take a look at 100,000 to 1 million coins, this has actually dropped from 4 wallets to now 3 wallets, this brown line here. So basically all of the big money has or is exiting the market. And that's not good, obviously, because when we see this, we see basically retail investors buying, but what's usually called smart money or the big money is leaving. That usually means that it is the top. So this is very, very worrying to me fundamentally. I don't like this. And most people probably agree that this is not good for Bitcoin. So it could be that we see a violent crash, because if the sentiment of the small fish changes and everybody else is selling, basically there's no buyers at that moment. So at this moment, we need some buyers to come into the market, or the markets will crash. That's the only scenario there. So I don't know what's going to be the catalyst for a Bitcoin adoption, but we should see massive buying very, very soon. Last week, what basically saved us from the crash is the ETF buying. So when we take a look at the total amount of Bitcoin held by ETFs, you can see that from the last week, we saw an accumulation of 11 million Bitcoin into the ETFs. And currently the amount of Bitcoin inside the different ETFs is hitting the all-time high here of 1,092,000 Bitcoin. But we got the number from Monday already, and unfortunately this Monday actually started a little bit bad. So as you can see, from the last month until the 13th of May, this is the first day we actually saw a net outflow from ETFs. So this is obviously not great as the start of the week, and that's basically why the price actually fell down since yesterday. So this is what we saw here. This is the situation fundamentally. And again, with Bitcoin, like I said, just looking at the chart, this is quite bullish, but fundamentally things are not looking that bullish. But things could change just 1 week. If all of these go up just a little bit, obviously I will be bullish again, but as of now they don't look that bullish, so that's why I'm reporting it as well. But the price here is still inside my bull zone, so currently I'm not selling, I'm not doing anything, just holding, and I'm still expecting an all-time high here. If we go below it, then I will basically have to reevaluate, get out of the market, reevaluate, and then basically analyze the situation as a whole, because then the paradigm has shifted once again. But we are not there, we are not at the all-time high, we're not below my thing here. I'm just saying that these are the two scenarios that we're currently living at. And now let's actually talk about altcoins. So first off, let's talk about Bitcoin dominance. And Bitcoin dominance, in my opinion, looks quite good for altcoins. So we have this trend line here, or this channel here, and we're at the channel top at the moment. You could draw it like this and say that we have actually broken to the upside already. So there's 2 ways to actually look at it, and Bitcoin dominance will just go higher. So I'm a little bit conflicted what is happening. With RSI, we can see basically a Bitcoin dominance have a breakout here. Not 100% sure if if 2 touches is enough to say that it's a trend. I guess it is, not always, but all in all, it could be something like this here. Like we saw the touch of the high here, and then it fell below it once again, and we had a small alt season, and then Bitcoin just took off against altcoins as well, because we are still inside this bullish channel for Bitcoin, bearish channel for altcoins. So that's there. But when we actually go to the weekly view, and this is, I hate to be telling you things like, oh, it's like this, but it's also like this, it's like that, but it's also like that. But it is what it is, right? So I have to tell you about it. So we have the RSI peak here at this level, but then we had the actual high here, but RSI was actually lower, which tells me that the momentum has actually shifted. And it's likely that this actually breaks to the downside from here, that this trend will be broken. But that's not necessarily the case, but I'm just telling you that there could be a chance for altcoins here. But as of now, it's bullish and it's bearish. It's like 50-50, let's say that. I'm not really getting anything from this. So let's actually go and take a look at some of the altcoins that we have been talking about. So first off, when we take a look at altcoins, you can see a lot of red here, obviously. But interesting points to look at is Doge is down 10%. Then we take a look at Pepe, which is down 17% in the last 7 days. Then we take a look at the another meme coin, When. This is the meme coin of Solana, 21% down. And then there are obviously other meme coins as well. But this is very bad for meme coins. You can see when meme coins are dumping, that could be another basically top signal as well. So meme coins dumping is quite bad, or typically means that the retail investors are out of the market as well. So previous week we saw retail accumulation of Bitcoin. That could still continue as retail money from altcoins is going into Bitcoin. So that could still continue here as well. That's basically my analysis of what happened from last week. And those did very bad. What did good for me is Unicrypt. So Unicrypt, as you can see, is up 4%, up against Bitcoin, up against Ethereum. So what I did right now with this pump here is I actually sold my Unicrypt, because Unicrypt, it is tied to the price valuation of other altcoins. And when it pumps basically against other markets, I don't know if they have some news coming up or not, but I actually sold my Unicrypt because everything else was dumping except Unicrypt. So I'm quite happy with Unicrypt, but unfortunately I'm not happy with a coin that I was talking about just, was it last week or the week before, which is called Golem. So Golem actually went to my bear zone here. So I sold Golem at a loss. So I unfortunately took a loss of about 15% with this one. But that's the case when you buy altcoins. You sometimes take a loss, you sometimes win. Typically, I try to buy into altcoins that have higher potential gains, that is the potential loss. And with this one, since we went to the bear zone, I actually just sold all of my Golem tokens. But there's a couple of ways, again, you could take a look at it. First is this one, which is the logarithmic view. The second is if we go to the basic view, this is actually still inside the bull channel here at the low here. So it could be bullish, it could be bearish, but because I personally used the logarithmic chart and it fell below my structure here, I sell, and there's not really anything more to say about it. I just sold it because it's no longer where I basically thought it would be. So next time I will be buying Golem, because fundamentally I think it's a great coin. It's in the AI narrative, it's in the DP narrative, and it also has a lot of Ethereum in the foundation. I made a video about it, make sure to look at it if you want to. So fundamentally I think it has a lot of value, but the chart broke to the downside from my structure, so I sold it. So next time I will buy it is when the RSI actually breaks to the upside here once again on the daily view. So that's my take on Golem there. With Matic, it's basically in the buy zone actually. So Matic is still inside the buy zone. If this falls below, then I will basically sell it. But as of now, we're still in this formation here, and we're still expecting to get that 60% gain to the upside like I showed you in the video. So that's with Matic there, and Matic against Bitcoin is also at the same level. We're at the range low here once again. So Matic looks to me very, very good. Very good potential against Bitcoin, like 35%, 40% gain potential for Bitcoin. If this falls below the structure, again, I will be selling my Matic, but Matic is still doing exactly what I want, but Golem is not. Another coin that I actually have to talk about, which I didn't share in my videos, but I shared it in my Discord, is Unibot. So Unibot, it's a positive cash flow making bot on Ethereum, on Solana, and on Base blockchain. So currently they are making about $3 million in revenue, and they share that revenue with people who hold the Unibot. And I thought $12.5 would have been the bottom, but it actually fell below it as well. So with Unibot, I was expecting 3x on my capital. So I made a post on Discord at $12.5 that we are potentially breaking to the upside, because as you could see, the downward momentum already slowed down significantly. We had the strong support here, but now we actually fell below that support here. So unfortunately, that is the case there. It could be just the absolute capitulation and we pumped to the upside there, but I don't like this. It broke the structure, so unfortunately we made another 15% loss, 15-20% loss here with this token as of now. So just an update there as well. So all in all, some things didn't go my way, some things did go my way, and that's the nature of the market sometimes. And as of now, I'm just basically waiting for Bitcoin to decide whether it wants to do the all-time high or we actually fall below the structure here within the next 20 days. So I will be making updates. If you want to follow me, make sure to actually subscribe to the channel. If you want to join on Discord, you can do that as well. I will be happy to answer any questions and talk about things there as well. So consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks and bye bye.